My name is Vivian Hsia, and I am one of the board of directors here with the Live Foundation. We are so excited to have all of you here and to be part of this. But it's a great opportunity to be able to share this information with you. Some of it, as we look around the room, I know there's a lot of you in here. Many of you may have different kinds of questions or needs, and so what we'll do is we will go through that, and I'll try to get through most of your questions. I do have my email at the very end, and so what I'm going to offer to you is the first 5 people that forward me their resume to my email address. I will be happy to review that for you and get that back to you. Okay? So one of the things I'm going to talk about is throughout this presentation, I need for you guys to finish the following sentence with me. Now, before I go forward, please understand that this will be an active participant. So for the next 30 minutes, I will ask all of you to participate in some of these questions with me because I don't want you to just sit there and look at me. And I want you to get as much as you can out of this presentation. All right? So I need you to finish the following sentence. You will never have a second chance to make a person. Absolutely. So you will hear that theme throughout this, and all the lessons and the comments that your parents have told you or people that are in your life will tell you. I'm going to reiterate all of those because those are very important lessons as you go through finding a job, going into school, all those things. So it's very, very important. So again, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So that's really key as you remember this. So how many seconds do you think it takes for somebody to form a first impression about you? Right. How much? 7 seconds? Okay. 10? 10, okay. Actually, there's some studies out there that it's less than a second. So imagine when you walked in the room, kind of what your impression was of me. So if I was just kind of sitting there like, this, or, if I wasn't really engaged, how you would interpret that to me. So again, always be very mindful of how you present yourself. Again, nothing different than your parents or whoever's in your life probably told you, but there are so many important pieces to that. Okay? So why is that important? Why is making a first impression important? So if you look at that picture, what does that say? You got a red person holding up a sign amongst a bunch of great people. Right. And what is it about that red person that's important? Right, that person is standing out. So you want your impression to be so visually strong, so really powerful that people will be able to notice you. And why is that? In our organization, in the calendar year 2013, how many applicants do you think applied for any type of administrative or clerical positions? That's secretarial, any kind of thing. So do you think it's A, 5 applicants, 5 applicants applied for a position, or B, 25 applicants, C, 50, or D, 75? 75. Very good. So again, absolutely. Actually, for one of our positions, there's over 150. So I asked you this question, what are you going to do to make sure that you stand out in that 150 or that 75? All right? So you have a couple of opportunities to do that. The first thing will be with the resume, which I'll talk about, and then the second thing, also talk about the interview. So how many of you know why you need a resume? Okay. A resume is very important as you start to look for jobs. When you're starting out in your high school, it probably is not as important because you're filling out an application. But as you start to fill out applications and really progress in your career, you will need a resume. All right? So for most of you who probably just need an application, we'll go through some of that. But I also just want you to take these helpful hints when we look at resumes as to what kinds of things that you need to do. So a resume really is a sheet of paper or on paper or electronic that describes your background, work experience, and skills. It's kind of like the online application that you submit. How many have submitted online applications before? Perfect, okay. So what it's telling you is to the person who hires you, this is what I can do for your company. So it's my background, my work experience, and skills. Now I know some of you are of the age where you may have limited work experience, limited skills, but that's okay. We'll just figure out a way to market yourself, you're selling yourself to the company, and how you make it work. So as you look at this, this is not my real resume, this is actually somebody else's. I want you to look at that and see how all the words are jumbled together. So if I'm a recruiter and I'm hiring for somebody and I'm looking at this jumbling, how easy is that to read? So I'm going to point you out, young man in the turquoise, he's like this, because he can't really see because it's all jumbled together. Okay? So again, if I am a recruiter, I'm looking at 75, how easy is this for you to read? Versus something like this. Okay. Now, I'm not really interested in you looking at the content because that's not really what we're going to talk about in this particular slide. But just aesthetically, when you just look at it, what's going to catch your eye and what's going what's going to make the recruiter be able to look at you very closely, look at you very carefully, and really stand out?